Hello, everybody, and welcome to another showing of the Middle Move. I'm Brian Duransky, and we're getting ready to watch the fourth race here at Churchill Downs. Don't know if you were able to catch us a little bit earlier before some things went a little hectic on technology side of things, but it's been a good day so far. A little chalky start to the day, but no surprise. Since I'm getting started a little late here, we're going to run through the fourth race really quickly. They're going a mile in the dirt. Obviously, speed's been pretty good at Churchill this meet so far, especially at the dirt mile. So what we want to do is look for horses that are going to be forwardly placed and ready to go. So real quick, since they're going to be loading up, uh, what- normally what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing. But the Valletta, the one, shows a lot of early pace. Coming to dirt, the pedigree fits well for the distance. 0 for 1 for dirt, looking to break maiden in the fourth try. Bill Mott and John Velasquez, always a nice combination. Scrolling through, go ahead and I'm going to toss the 2 out real quick. Go ahead and toss the 3 and the 4 is kind of interesting. Steve Asmussen's been the winning trainer a few times at Churchill Downs, coming for his second career start there. Some fast fractions last time out. They're already loading up the gate, fellas. So I am sorry I got this stream started way too late considering. Um, the 9 looks like a closer I want to play against. So I'm going to, just because it's a real quick scenario here, I'm going to go ahead and say let's look at this. Oh, what do we want here? What do we want? Let's take this 1. You know, I think the 1's pretty solid. The 11 was interesting. Bobby's Golden Girl, but good luck, everybody.
Well, is racing for the lead. Bobby's Golden Girl is also there. Valletta's not far behind. Deep Space, Take Charge, Glenda. Ithaca Falls from that far outside post races up as well. Up the chute, then heading for the main track, and Deep Space in between with Ready and Waiting. Those two go head to head early on. Bobby's Golden Girl on the outside is running in third. Valletta's now fourth. Take Charge, Glenda about 4 lengths off the lead, racing in fifth. Ithaca Falls is now sixth. Angel Decor is down inside seventh by 2. Maid of Honor comes away running along in eighth. Blonde by Nature down inside ninth. Take Charge Patty is running in
And no
10th.
surprise there.
Altaf is
That 4
11th
is
and
up
10 or
there.
12 lengths off the lead. Majorette, the last of them all. 22 and 2 was the opening quarter mile, and the opening half in 45 and
One thing
3.
we know,
So it
Asmussen's got
is
his horses
ready and
ready.
waiting. Onto the far turn, showing the way by half a length. Bobby's Golden Girl continues to pester on the outside, and these two now come together with 2.5 furlongs to go. Valletta's 2.5 lengths back in
Come
third.
on,
Farther
Johnny
back in the
V.
field, Take Charge Glenda is running along in fourth. Altaf is picking it up with a
Here
5 or
comes that
6 wide
chalky
blitz on the far
closer.
turn to within 8 lengths of the lead. So they're off the turn, and it is Bobby's Golden Girl who comes away with the lead.
That
Valletta to the
9's
attack,
awfully
but
wide.
Altaf
Coming down the
continues to
center of the
close.
track. Look at that
Altaf,
closer
so
come
far behind
flying.
earlier, has circled the entire field and rips
Unbelievable. What
away
an
from the
effort.
pack. Altaf, full of
Clearly
run
much
for
the
the
best
last half
today.
mile, and she canters home. Most
Wins by
impressive was
14.
Altaf, winning by 4 in the end. Majorette
I
was
kid.
second, Bobby's Golden
4
Girl third,
lengths.
and
Nice,
Valletta was fourth.
nice win there. Unfortunately, we would have jumped on the stream a little sooner. Probably would have caught that a little bit. But, you know, the closer at 1 mile is not what I want at Churchill Downs, but Joel Rosario on the mountain. Surprise, surprise. He gets it done once again. Uh, he really is good coming from off the pace. I think the 11, Bobby's Golden Girl, and Ready and Waiting. I'm a little
Number 9,
surprised that
Altaf was
Franco
first.
got into
Number
that
7,
speed
Majorette
duel
was second.
early with
11,
the
Bobby's
4.
Golden Girl third, and 1, Valletta finished fourth, not official.
Let me go ahead and turn this back down. I'm surprised because I wasn't the right I was expecting. I was expecting them to sit back a little bit more and let the race develop. If you look at the one start that Bobby's Golden Girl had at Laurel, pretty fast pace. Was on the lead early. Definitely a change here going from maiden special weight at Laurel for 41,000 to Churchill Downs maiden special weight for 79,000. Pretty nice jump up in class. Nothing against Laurel, but 40,000 at Laurel is not 40,000 at Churchill. So, the fact the horse went off at 9-2 is probably would have been unbettable on the 11 long term. The 7-2 I thought was a good price on the one Valletta. Looking at that horse, ran on dirt and debut, and then came out on turf 2 times and was probably doing okay. Interesting spot to come back to the dirt there. So I really thought the intentions were going to be a little bit different. Um, Overall, the 5-2 favorite wins. The not co-favorite, but the second choice, Take Charge Glenda. Never even heard the horse's name called. So what's that tell you about you know a short price horse? You want 3-1 as a short price horse. Who's complaining about a 3-1 price? That 9 right there at 5-2 was definitely a great bet at 5-2 for the way that horse ran. Um, Looking at the times, they ran the half in 45 and 3. I think 45 and 3 was quicker than most people would have handicapped that race for. Uh, sure, the 11 had a lot of early pace, and so did the 4 ready and waiting, but 45 and 3 for the half going a mile in the dirt at Churchill. And that was a perfect setup for Joel Rosario. As good as he is off the pace, he didn't need any help. Well, that race goes official. Pays 760 to win. That 7 gets up for a nice place price. That exact is going to be a pretty good price with the favorite on top. Looking back at that 7 Margaret, the first time starter for Michael Stidham, um, Brian Hernandez Jr. on the mount. Really nice workouts there. Probably surprised that the computer wagering teams let that horse go off at that price. I didn't have it, but in all fairness, we did handicap this race in about 4 seconds. Uh, I didn't have any wagers live on that race, so no big deal to us. So we'll go ahead and start moving forward to the next race, race 5 at Churchill. Should be an interesting race. I'm getting things set up here. All right, all right. Do, do, do. Let's see. What am I doing? What am I doing? What's going on, everybody? It's just me? That's probably a good thing right now. The nice thing is when you don't have any participants, you can pretty much do whatever you want. I just hope the stream is okay. Mm, do, do. Never fun trying to find something on YouTube. Hmm. Let's see how this looks. All right, so you're going to hear myself talk in the background for a second. Just kind of testing things out. It's always good getting a good vibe for the for a feed like this, a stream, whatever you want to call it. Well, it's not bad. The stream looks pretty good. It seems to be pretty quick. All right, we're doing okay here. All right. All right, so we're 21 minutes to race 5. I'm going to leave you here for a second while I go get a drink and we get ready to handicap race 5 from Churchill Downs. And we'll see what other races are going on while we're sitting around. This is the first turf race of the day at Churchill Downs, mile and 16th. I think we've got a good opportunity to bet against some lower price horses, but the best fade of the day was the 7. A threat of blue was the horse I really wanted to play against, and they scratched out. So as soon as I come back, we will take a look and see what we've got. All right. Ah, I see on the wrong lead is checking us out. Hey, guys, I had no viewers and was getting a drink. All right, so where we at? We're at 14 minutes to race 5 at Churchill Downs. A nice race right there. So if you played that 9, you're probably looking at a couple double probables that are pretty nice. Going into this race, I'm looking the first turf race. What we saw throughout the last weekend and yesterday is the turf is playing fair, but you don't want to be behind the 8 ball, if you will. Probably within 5, 6 lengths. There's only been one closer who won, and that was what was that? Terror City Thunder or something earlier this week, who was a combined like 12 lengths behind the lead. So you want to be closer to the lead than that. Uh, so what I'm looking for this race is going to be a horse that's going to be close, but has some late kicks. So as we go through the PPs here, hopefully you got yours out with you. I'm looking at, let's see here. All right. So the number one spooky channel, Julian LePeroux aboard, Brian Lynch is the trainer. Obviously has a lot of, I don't want to say back class easily, but this horse is all over the place. Grade two, grade two. Couldn't get him done. Won a grade three in January at Gulfstream Park at a mile and a half. So this race is a mile and a 16th. Might actually be a little too short for that horse. Came back and ran a mile and 3/8 and then a mile and a half again. Hard to say how he's going to perform today, but we'll come back to the one. Let's see here. Mixed Star, the 2 horse, currently 42 to 1 on the board, probably doesn't fit. Let's be quite honest. Looking at what the horse has done on turf, 2 for 7 lifetime in the money, 1 win, 1 place. Given a quick perusing, the horse doesn't really fit on a buyer figure standpoint. Will be forwardly placed with most likely if you go off of the time form figures. But looking at the past performances, the horse has been in the lead before, and then comes back the next race and is 10 lengths off. Comes back, is on the lead. So very sporadic horse, probably a hard one to put money on, at least for me. The 3 Caribou Club. Now this is a very interesting horse to me at the current price of 8 to 1. I'm sitting here looking through what this horse has done, but hasn't ran since February. Had a couple good workouts in late April, and the 3 furlong run at Churchill this week wasn't bad. Nice little pre-race work. What confuses me more is so he comes out of the grade 3, and he ran the Tampa Bay grade 3. Uh, has a good amount of early pace, and then late kick is not horrible. I'd even say the horse was probably a little bit against a bias last time out. He's definitely what I'd consider a closer when you look at what has made this horse successful. Last August, horse was 3 3/4, 5.5 lengths back, comes on to win. Last September, 8.5, 7.5, length and a half wins. So definitely want to keep that in mind. He is somewhere right where a closer wants to be. He's going to be backwards, not backwards. He's going to be non-forwardly placed early, but he's got enough pace to keep him close. So if Joe Talmo can keep this 3 somewhere around 5 to 6 lengths back, I think this is somebody you've got to keep an eye on. All right, moving on to the 4, Dr. Mounty, 12 to 1 at the current price. Has some big numbers in its past performances. Probably something you want to keep an eye out for, but not sure if we really want to. Not sure there's really something that we can sink our teeth into. Johnny V and Claude I, let's be honest, McGahee here. McGahee's not profitable off the layoff, but at 13 to 1, it only needs one winner to turn that profit around. Johnny V's ran this horse before. Looks like last October, and at a decent price. Just definitely outclassed there. I think there's better options for today. The 5 Parlor currently 8 to 1. Big big effort last out at the fairgrounds in March. Uh, Interesting. Drew comes off and Jose's on the mount now. A forwardly placed horse with late kick, currently 8 to 1. At this price, this is the kind of horse I'm looking to win bet. I think uh, has a lot of back efforts in. Let me see here. In 26 career lifetime starts, in the money 15 times. At Churchill, he's won 25% of his starts, 2 for 8 with wins. And then at this distance, he's won 3 times. So definitely has done it. Probably getting a little long in the tooth, if you will, but something to keep an eye on. Even the 6 for Grand Motion at 10 to 1. You go back through and look here at the effort at Laurel last year. Again, you know, personal opinion aside, I don't know what you think about Laurel, but when I see Laurel runners coming to Churchill Downs, unless they're running the top level of Laurel, it's probably not a very good move. This horse was running some graded company at Laurel at 1 mile, uh, and and lost. Lost to the other horse I liked at this price was the 3 Caribou Club. So Just Howard and Caribou Club have fought off a few times. Pretty interesting spot here. Joel Rosario, who's having a great day. Grand Motion is doing great off the layoff. This horse stands to be far back, I think. We'll finish looking and getting our pace scenario together, but I do think this horse is going to be pretty far back. The 7 scratched out. The 8 first primo at 6 to 1. I want nothing to do with this horse. Took a lot of money, I think, because the 7 scratched out. Mark Cassie's fine. This horse, the running lines look fine, but at 6 to 1, this horse, I just can't support it. I'm not sure where this money's coming from, and I'll let this horse beat me. With Mena me on the mount, not where I want to be today. The 9, currently the top choice on the board, Mr. Misunderstood. Now, if you recall what I said earlier, you don't want to be backwards or in the rear of the field early. This horse is going to be in the rear of the field. Now, Drew is good at this track. He knows his track like no other. Brad Cox is going to have this horse ready. You go back through, okay, he ran the Wise Dan. He won the Wise Dan in 18. River City, he won that. The Old Friend, no good. And then won the River City again. This is a horse for course. He's 5 for 6 lifetime at Churchill Downs with 13 career wins. So this is the kind of horse you want to hammer at Churchill Downs. His best figures are at Churchill Downs. Probably a good spot to key around the 9. We're getting a little close here. Hembry, the 10. another late runner. So, what do you want to do with a late runner? Who do you want to have as your top pick? Lots of late pace here. Horse has proven he can come charging through. Um, had Rosario last time, couldn't get the job done. Adds a little bit of distance here from that last out mile. I don't think the pace is going to be strong enough for this horse to get there, as he'll be too far back. But let's take a quick rundown through there. The 13 Real Story. There's the pace setter, I think. Needs to be on the lead. He's been on the lead in every start of its career, it looks like, since April of 2018. So if we take that into consideration, I'm going to scroll back through the PPs again. The 13, the 2, the 2 is a cheap speed. The 13 is probably a cheap speed. The 5 is going to be in the next bunch of horses. And then you've got some closers behind that. The 6, the 8, the 9, the 10. Lots of closers here. You take a shot and say, okay, I'm going to take a horse that might get loose in the lead. I don't think so. But what do what are you looking for exactly? You know, I keep watching this 3. I can't lie. It keeps the odds are going up and down, 3 or it was 6-1, then 8-1, now back to 6-1. With Joe Talamo aboard for Thomas Proctor, I want to play this horse. I want to play Caribou Club. I think that's going to be my selection for this race. What I'm going to try to do here is look for some doubles around Caribou Club, and I'll probably play the 9 a little bit. So what if we come off with something like a 9-3 and 9-3. Next race, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself here. Obviously, this wasn't the plan to stream solo today, so I apologize if I seem a little out of sorts. It definitely was not the intention of doing today. So I'm thinking something like 9-3 with 9-3 with the 4. I think that's currently offering $46 and $36 for 2. I still like this 1 a little bit. So I'm trying to see if I want to play around with that 1 and toss it in as a little hedge, just because it feels interesting to me. So let's put a ticket together here. We got a little bit of time. I'm going to play the 1 too because I do like the 1. That's the horse that doesn't make sense to me, but I'm drawn to as a long shot type of play. And I would hate to lose to that horse at this point. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and now what I'm doing is I put my wagers in batch style. I find it easier to put them in when you're making a few different wagers. So bear with me here. Let me get these in. Because since we're playing, we're going to have combinations here. 3-4, 9-4, 1-4, 1-10, 3-10, 9-10. So we want to make sure we get all those in so that we can. Uh-oh. Might be in trouble here. Hold on. All right, there we go. My window logged me out there, and I don't want to get logged out again. That happened to me yesterday and cost me a $115 double, which was unfortunate. Okay, so we have our wagers placed right now. Not sure what you'll see if I do this. let's see what happens. I do this. I bring this window over to here. All right. All right, so that's just what you're going to see. So I was trying to show you what I had up here. It doesn't look like it went through, but we've got 6-1, 6-3, 6-4. Wait a minute. That's the wrong race. And they're off, so let's watch the race. We'll come back to that in a minute.
Well, Made You Look and Mixed Star go head to head. Real Story angles over to be 3 wide into the turn. First Premio tucks in behind, racing in fourth. Caribou Club up against the hedge, saving ground from fifth. English Bees running along in sixth. Spooky Channels back in seventh. Mr. Misunderstood running along in eighth. Hembry is ninth. Just Howard is 10th. Dr. Mounty
Mr.
11th.
Misunderstood's a lot
And
closer
Parlor
than I
at the
expected
back.
at this point.
The opening quarter in 23
So
and
there's
2.
our cheap speed
Down
we
the
had. We
backstretch
called
they
the
go.
2 and the 13 were going
Mixed
to be up
Star
front
shows
early.
the way by half a length.
No
Real
surprise
Story
here.
stalking on the outside in second. Mild pressure from that one. Made You Look has backed off to be third down inside.
Oh, yeah, so 47 and
That is
almost
first
3.
Premio racing fourth, 2.5
Pretty
lengths
good
off
pace
the
here.
lead. English
Probably
Beat 3
going to
wide
set up
past the
nicely
half-mile
for the
pole.
9 to come
Caribou
through.
Club's down
I like
inside,
the
running
fact
long
that the
in
3's in
sixth.
the rail a little
Spooky
closer.
Channel mid-pack while seventh. Mr. Misunderstood wide on the far turn, moving up from eighth. Farther back in the field, Parlor's winding up with a 4 wide bid out of ninth. Dr. Mounty's buried at the inside 10th. It is a tight pack racing for the top of the stretch, and they're fanning 5 or 6 wide off the turn. Parlor takes the worst of it, nonetheless has rallied to the front.
The first move.
Parlor's in front, top of the stretch. Mr. Misunderstood is there. English Beat first. Premio got stopped.
Wow,
and then it's Hembry coming down the center of the course with Spooky Channel, but Parlor with that blitz on the far turn is kicked away by 2 and has a 16th to hold. Spooky Channel finishing fast. Hembry outside, farther out, Just Howard. Here comes Spooky Channel to surge and win it. Spooky Channel runs down Parlor, then it was Hembry, Just Howard, and Dr. Mounty.
I told you I like that horse, and I didn't know why. And that is where we wanted to be. Alive and a few doubles right there. You know, that is a perfect play. All right. That is a good feeling right there. We beat the chalk. Let's make sure. What's going on here? All right. So that 5 gets up for second. You know, we talked about
number 1 Spooky
Parlor.
Channel was first. Number 5 Parlor second.
We talked about Parlor there for a good little bit. Let's see what we had. What we had there. If you notice, we got locked out. So I'll scroll down and show you the wagers that are open. So we're live from a $5 double to 1 to 410. So 4 pays 60, 10 pays 80. We're in a pretty good spot right there. If we can get that thing home for 5, see what happens here, everybody. Put this back to the big screen. All right. Well, that makes me feel good. At 8 to 1, I probably should have that win bet on it. So we talked about the pace was going to melt down. Spooky Channel was a closer, got up. Nice ride by Julian Leperu. Uh, Looking back, the five was a forwardly placed closer. So Ortiz did a little bit different ride today. Yes, cherry drink, Spooky Channel all day long. You know, I, that was a great price. Uh, and I don't know if you saw it. I saw you just joined up cherry drink, but the one I liked for a reason I couldn't explain, so I threw it in there with some doubles. So we're alive to the 4 and the 10 and some doubles right now for a nickel a piece. Hopefully we get that one of those home. Uh, so the Jose Ortiz took Parlor back a little bit than the past performances indicated that they were going to do. The 10, Hembry came flying, and then the 6. So this was a closer race, considering they went, what would we say, 47-3. No surprise. So there's just a little too much pace early, and it fell apart. That's a you know that's the kind of race when you kind of regret for not betting a win bet here. I I could see why you liked it, Josh. I couldn't explain why. I saw Julian Le Peru and I saw a big buyer figure at the mile-and-a-half mark, but I actually thought this race might have been a little too short, and it almost was. If they run 48, just 2 seconds slower, I don't think Spooky Channel gets it done today. That was a good spot. Even carrying the extra weight, he was 4 pounds heavier than most of the field to come through and win there. It's just tells you he's got a ton of horse. All right, so we'll look ahead to the sixth race. The sixth race is going to be the start of the late. No, hold on, wait. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can't count sometimes. This is going to be the in between race. Late pick 5 starts next race. Race 6. What are you doing, Firefox? All right, supposedly something was acting weird. All right, so race 6, they're going back to the dirt for 6.5 furlongs. $81,000 allowance race. Non-winners a 1. And you can see at first open, the 4 took a lot of money. So depending how you want to go through this race for handicapping, top to bottom, front to back, this race, we've got 23 minutes. I could probably spend a little bit more time here on the 4 of why I took the 4 and the 10 as my top picks here. Obviously, the 10 at 6 to 1 would be huge, but let's start with the 1 Big Man Can. Big Man Can is a big number. So let me take a step back. Right now, I'm noticing at Churchill Downs, the buyer par is 89. You don't want to be, that's what at this level, buyer par is telling you this is what you're going to need to run to win. This is what you can expect to win. So if you take buyer par, maybe plus or minus 3 or 4 numbers, you're probably going to be looking at today's winner. So we can do a quick glance and say, all right, let's call it 85. 85 on the low end is probably what the winner's going to run. So the ones never ran that. The ones got to really improve. Looking at these workouts, he ran 4 furlongs in 50 and 51, 5 furlongs in 103. Probably not going to improve to the point of running in the mid 80s, high 80s today. Uh, I can tell you right now that off of layoffs, Sims is winning 20%, but it doesn't feel like this is going to be the day that he takes that up any higher. So we'll go ahead and look at the two high crime. High crime was 7-2 in the morning line is 8-1 in early wagering. And this horse makes some sense. For an early pace figure, it's going to be out front. Going to be out front early. Probably going to, let me go through here real quick. See, this is the problem with live streaming is I like to say this horse is going to be up front and definitely going to be up front. But for an early pace value, the two is going to be up front. 103 time form US figure. Coming back to dirt after trying the turf a few times probably makes a lot of sense to be on dirt. Looks like the pedigree prefers to be on the dirt side. Oh, sorry. Apparently DRF or sorry, my past performances are bogging down just a touch here. All right. They're really bogging down. Come on now. So Cherry Drink, I see you like the two. The six, I was stuck in the six for a long time, and I ended up coming off the six. Hopefully, not for the negative. At 7-2, come on. All right, bear with me for a second. Too many people on DRF today, everybody. Let's refresh our browser and make it work. Might just have a little too much going on right now. And considering I use a tote board watcher app on my computer a lot of times, that will hog up a little bit of bandwidth, so I have some problem getting the past performances up with everything running. I laughed because a second ago I had no problem going from race 4 to 5, but 5 to 6 is going to be an issue for me. And I find myself oftentimes playing around on Twitter and whatnot, so I can I could bog it down pretty good on my own. But okay, looking at the 6 hidden ruler, Ortiz is back aboard. So if you were able to catch up earlier, I'd mentioned that Jose doesn't seem to be having a good opening week at Churchill Downs, and I'm going to continue that of fading Jose Ortiz. Now, how many people can sit there and say they fade Jose Ortiz on a regular basis until he seems to get a better handle of the track? I don't want him on a horse that's 7-2. I'll let him beat me at this point, and I'll be sour about it because you lose a race by fading Jose Ortiz and putting money on somebody like, you know, Joel Rosario or Corey Landeros or Martin Garcia, but it's Churchill Downs. And I understand Jose Ortiz is here and he's a great jockey. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing Jose Ortiz at all. But I just think it's a little slow start for him at Churchill Downs and not a big deal. You're right. The injury could be hampering him, Cherry Drink. Uh, I wonder if that's an issue. But at this point, it's hard for, his rides are still going to be overbet because of who he is. And I have a hard time saying, yeah, I want to put money on a 7-2, which at post time he'll probably be 5-2. So, all right. So going back to the two that you're mentioning, high crime, definitely going to be forwardly placed. Should be the pace setter here. Tried turf twice. Didn't really. I don't want to say didn't fire on turf, but didn't win on turf. I'm a game second, a game third, but just wasn't much. He's 0 for 1 at Churchill lifetime, but coming off, been off for what, 7 months now. That's a profitable look for Darren Miller. Flo Giroux is on the mount here, so going to be lively. Every time this horse has been on dirt, has been out front early. So I'm definitely expecting this horse to set the pace. Uh, Unfortunately for High Crime, right next to him you have the 3, Picasso. Picasso and Steve Asmussen with Ricardo Santana Jr. aboard have a lot of early pace also. And for the sake of ranking the pace setters here, I think the 3 is a little bit faster than the 2, despite the 2 being a need to lead kind of horse. So if in fact Jose Ortiz's injury is an issue or whatnot, maybe the 2 doesn't get out to the, oh, I'm sorry, what did I do? That's the other horse. I'm all over the place right now. So Flo Giroux's on the 2, Ricardo Santana on the 3. If looking at buyers, the 2 is faster. But the 3 had a nice first outing of 2020 at the fairgrounds. Comes back here, stretches, hard to call it a stretch out, but is adding an extra furlong. With the workouts you're seeing, I mean, what we got here? 49 for 4 furlongs, 52 for 4, 101 for 5. Lots of 5 furlong workouts. So you have a pretty good idea what this horse is going to run. I mean, you got Tap It on the top and Bridal Song on the bottom. How can we pass that up? That's going to be a tough pedigree to go with. All right, here it is. There's the 4. Get the prize. Currently the favorite on the tote board. We are live to this horse, and I don't know if I am happy or sad about that. You know, and I say that Joel Rosario is riding great today. See him on the mount. Horse has a good early pace, but has the stretch drive. So I'm expecting this horse to break, let the 2 and 3 get out in front of him, and sit back and make the middle move. So I say that tongue in cheek because this horse is not going to be up front. It'd be nice to see a top of the turn type of move, given the late pace. 1 mile and a mile 16th looked a little long the past performances. Comes back to 6.5 furlongs. At 6 furlongs was a winner by almost 3 lengths. He's 2 for 3 in the money at Churchill Downs. This horse looks like could be ready, making the 4-year-old debut. Now the downside is the horse hasn't ran since June. Without running since June, I'm a little scared of a 5-2 shot. Albert Stall is hitting at 27%, it looks like, over the last year with 6-month layoffs. But he's not a profitable trainer at that angle. And that's a scary thing because that tells you his horses get bet down. So he gets good horses. They have the pedigree and they should fire. They're just not winning enough to overcome the low prices that we're seeing. And the tote here agrees. All right, so moving on to the 5 breaking news, 11-1 on the board. This horse just looks too slow, top to bottom. If you want to look at buyer figures, you want to look at pace. I don't see this horse winning today. Also had a nice layoff, came out to Oakland Park, ran well, probably was against a little bit of a bias there, for being, I don't want to say a late horse, but having a late kick here, the horse is probably a little slow all the way around. Would have to improve quite a bit from a career best performance. And I don't see anything here that's going to say the horse is going to. Just ran on April 30th, had 1 workout, reported for May 8th, and then we've got nothing. So we got 2.5 weeks the horse has been sitting. After what might have been a conditioning issue last race, I'm going to toss it at 11-1. Here we go. The 6 Hidden Ruler. Cherry Drink's horse selection there. I'm sitting here looking at the horse, and I go back through. Mind you, today's a 6.5 furlong race. Horse has an early kick to him and kind of fades down the stretch, if you will. I don't want to say fade, but probably a hanger, if you will. Been to Churchill 3 times, hasn't won. Lifetime is 2 for 15. At 4-1 with Ortiz to the track, who's still getting acclimated or over an injury or whatnot, I'm going to let the horse beat me. I think the horse ends up sitting in the second flight behind the 2 and the 3 early and doesn't have the late kick to get home against some of the other horses here. We're 10 minutes to post, so we're at a good spot to finish up 7 through 11, and then we'll be ready for the race here. The 7, I'm not going to pretend to know how to pronounce this. Creme de Cerise, 47-1. Sophie Doyle on the mount. You know, it's nice to see Sophie up at Churchill. I, for one, like watching Sophie Doyle ride. I think she's a talented jockey who gets a lot out of her horses, and she's not one of those names that takes value off a horse. You know, she's not an Irad Ortiz as far as that's concerned, which is important when you're trying to handicap a race and figuring out what prices you're going to get. So, with that being said, Sophie Doyle. Hold on one second. All right. Sorry about that. The wife is out. So, got to touch base every once in a while, see what's going on. All right, so Creme de Cerise definitely appears too slow. Similar problem I have with the 6 and probably the 5. I also have with the 7. Just not going to get there from a pace standpoint. The horse has been in fast paces and can't close, but is too slow early to be near the lead. So that's not a good, good spot to be. It's a plotter type situation, and I can't put money on it. Now, this is the type of horse that you can see in the running line has ran at Arlington last year and won, and probably could win at Arlington and Hawthorne, that type of atmosphere. But here at Churchill Downs, probably outclassed. All right, the 8, Zoe's Delight. Zoe's Delight has Corey Landeros aboard for Ian Wilkes. Interesting horse here. Currently 6-1 on the tote is what I'm seeing. Or 16-1, I'm sorry. Looking at the pace here, a lot like the 7. So, pretty much the whole middle of the starting gate, I don't like on a pace standpoint. I don't see how they're going to fit this horse against slow fractions, 1, but we're not going to see slow fractions today. 1 January 15th, they ran, what was that, 46-1 for the half. And that buyer came back at 75. They Peru aboard. We're going to see some faster fractions than that today. And this horse is going to be too far back early to be able to overcome. All right, so the 9, he's a babe. Dylan Davis, Michael Thomason combination. Makes a third start here. 1 for 2 lifetime. Has a weight allowance because he's a 3-year-old. Fits well for the distance. It's a AP Indy on the top, and you got JBK on the bottom. Be honest, JBK is not exactly a household name. Looks like Baby J, the mare, has some siblings. 2 out of 3 falls. Baby J went 4 wins and 12 lifetime starts. Yeah, not horrible, but in this spot, not something I'm going to play with. All right, let me get back down to our 10 here. We got 6 minutes to post. The 10 smart time. Martin Garcia for Richard Castillo. If you're watching earlier, I downplayed Laurel Shippers and coming to Churchill Downs. Here's this horse. Horse was second in an allowance non-winners of 1 at Laurel in June and has been off since June. Nice workout pattern. Looks like March 8th, April 11th, 19th, 28th. Pretty much a nice 7 to 10 day window, which is about what Richard Castillo does here. Ran on the 15th, did 4 furlongs at 48. I would have liked to have seen one more 5 furlong workout, but that one that this gelding had. All right. So, not sure what the problem was. Nothing was muted, nothing was there. Uh, that's unfortunate. All right. Thanks for letting me know, Cherry Drink, about that one. And you are my one viewer, so I appreciate you sitting here while you're barbecuing and at least letting me know how the stream's doing. I wasn't expecting to have 100,000 visits today. This is more or less the first real live stream I'm trying to go with. I've done some trials and wanted to make sure things were smooth before I went through and advertised or published or anything. You know, uh, I'm lucky that I know a few guys that like to stream and they've been doing it for a little bit. I started a podcast, then I wanted to stream because when I'm playing the horses, I like to talk. I like to talk to other people, and you know, sometimes typing just doesn't do it. You want to sit there and have that emotion of watching somebody else's horse beat yours. It just makes you feel good. Then you want to be able to yell boom, easy, and another word that I'm not going to talk about right now. All right, so real quick, Flatster, Chris Emega board. He was on a heavy favorite earlier on the card. I didn't like the race that or the ride he gave that horse. I think he's not going to fit well here, but he's got the connections with Brittany Vandenberg. And it makes sense. What the heck is going on? All right. So the horse ran at Hawthorne, Turfway Park, ran nicely at Turfway Park in March. Apparently, really likes the artificial surface. Hawthorne has won before. I just think this horse is way out of its element here. Never been to Churchill before. So that's going to do it for the handicapping in this race. I'm not playing any doubles on the back end of this. I'm going to actually get off the stream after this one because, well, I can. But what I'm looking to do is play a double here, 410 with the 4 and 8. That's Dunbar Road, and she's a Julie next. It's not paying very much, but it should be enough to get us paid a little bit and see what happens. So they're loading in the gate, everybody. Good luck for this race. I'll go ahead and turn the sound on, and we'll be off and racing shortly. Let's see who gets the lead out of that 2, 3, 4, and 9.
They're in the gate. And they're off. High Crime with a good start toward the inside. Hidden Ruler from mid-pack is out well. He's a Babe is flashing speed. But it is High Crime and Hidden Ruler to speed off together
There
down the
we go.
backstretch run. He's a Babe chasing out of third, 2 lengths back. Picasso advancing inside from fourth. Smart Time in the clear, running along in
Well,
fifth. Breaking
Josh, you
news
were
is now
sitting
sixth.
pretty with
Flaster
your 2 and
way
6
out in
up
the
there,
center of the
aren't you?
track, racing seventh. Big Man Can is eighth. Get the Prize comes away ninth. It is 10 lengths off the
Everything I said
lead.
about
The
Jose
back two are
Ortiz
Creme de
didn't work,
Cerise
huh?
and Zoe's Delight. The opening quarter in 22 and 1,
4
and
must
now
have missed a
Hidden
break or
Ruler
something. That's just
assumes
crazy.
control. And Skitter's clear to
Not
lead
sure why
by
Joel's got
2.
him so
High
far
Crime
back.
continues to chase from second. He's a Babes under pressure trying to move up out of third. Picasso's bottled up inside fourth. Breaking News is winding up with a
I'm going to
wide
say my
rally.
double's in
Smart
trouble,
Time
everybody.
comes on through from between horses. Farther back in the field, Got the Prize is winding up as well, but his fan 6 wide off the turn.
Wow, they're
Hidden Ruler,
wide.
the one to catch top of the lane. Here comes He's a Babe pouncing in between. Smart Time, Breaking News, center of the track. Get the Prize continues to rally. There's 1 furlong to go. Hidden Ruler's digging down. Smart Time surges. Breaking News as
Uh-oh,
well.
what are we
He's
going
a
to get?
Babe, has a shot. Get the Prize far outside. Smart Time's got the lead close to home, and it will be Smart Time to win it.
All right.
Smart Time, half length in the end.
Smart Time
Get
that
the
wins
Prize
it.
was there with Hidden Ruler and Breaking
10 and
News in the
4
photo
come
for
through.
second, third, and
The
fourth.
6 was a game. I never expected the 4 to be closing like that. Joel Rosario took that horse so far back. Why would you go that far back with that horse? The horse is, could have been directions. Don't get me wrong. Joel is a great off the pace rider. I don't understand how he ended up that far back. I'll have to watch that replay. What I like to do is write down things to go back and watch. So on my notepad here, I'm going to write down race 6, Churchill. Watch the replay for the 4. Did the 4 miss the break? Something happened, or was there just no ask early? So if you watch right here, I'm going to watch. The 4 comes out. No, maybe a little squeeze between the 3 and the 5 there, but no excuse for the 4 to be that far back early. I wish I would have played the exacta. I would have had the exacta there, uh, 10-4. But as it is, we get the double 5 times. So feeling pretty good about that. Oh, cherry drink, 2-6, 2-6-9, and win place in the 9. Oh man, I understand. That was a solid play considering I didn't see the 6, and we talked about it. I didn't think Joel Ortiz, or wow, I said Joel Ortiz. My apologies, Mr. Ortiz and Mr. Rosario, for crisscrossing your names there. Uh, However, I didn't think the 6 was going to be up that early, and they really came out. Ortiz gave that horse a nice, quick ride. Uh, the 2 at that price of 5-1, I could see why you went there, Josh. Definitely a value type approach, and you almost had it for the 4 being 8-5, the 10 being 9-2. And I think the 10 was a great price at 9-2. I wish I didn't win bet it, but having the backside daily double is always a good thing. So we'll see if this race go official. Make sure we don't have any crazy Kentucky shenanigans going on. So I've been streaming for an hour. Let me see here, an hour and 11 minutes. Uh, I think it went pretty smooth. I'm going to save the stream and review it and make sure the the bit rate was good and the sound was good because I don't really know. And Cherry Drank would be able to tell me, and I'll get some feedback for him. Hopefully, he's sending me a message, letting me know what it sounded like and looked like. I can't help looking like this, but if I'm blurry, you don't want to miss out on this beautiful face. All right, so it went 10-5 or 10-4-5-6. Pays 11.20 to win, 340 on the place for the 4. What's our exacta going to do there? The 10 is not happy in the winner's circle. Big ride. That was a nice effort. Um, pull up the results here. All right, so exacta pays 37, the double pays 79.80 on the 10 there. Oh, I know you're laughing about my beautiful face comment, Josh. I appreciate it. Uh, since you're the only one here, I could, do something like this and just see what you think. But all right, guys, or Josh, or whoever's watching. Hopefully, somebody comes back through and gives it a view and lets me know what you think. I've enjoyed the stream. I'm going to take it as a learning experience. What I'm hoping to do is from time to time, because I'm bored, and on a random, Tuesday when life gets back to normal, wouldn't you like to watch some parks racing with me? Uh, Sometimes there'll probably even be a child down here rooting on a horse with me because it's Pink Daddy, and little girls like the color pink, so we bet the 8 a lot. Oh, it's not better. Get out of here, Josh. All right, guys. So with that being said, it's the end of the stream. I'm going to get off. The late pick fives getting ready to go from Churchill Downs. I'm going to go and get a snack because this body's hungry. The kids are almost home with the wife. And be honest, I kind of just want to watch the races and see what happens and grab a drink. So for episode 1, thanks, guys. You got a point, Josh. I said parks. Man, how can I be called middle move and I skip over Indiana Grand? Wow, that's hurt. You know what? I'm barely a Hoosier anymore, Josh. I should probably just renounce my Hoosierdom and move over to the north suburbs of Chicago. All right.